Course Project Part 3. In the summer of 1971, the police publicly arrested 10 students who did nothing wrong besides agree to participate for $15 a day in one of the social psychology's most notorious studies since Milgram's House of Pain back in the 60s. These students were taken to the Stanford County Prison, a mock prison located at the university, where they were set to be held prisoner for the next 2 weeks. In 1971, the psychologist Philip Zimbardo tried to show that prison guards and convicts would tend to slip into predefined roles, behaving in a way that thought they was required, rather than using their own judgment and morals. Zimbardo was trying to show what happened when all the individuality and dignity was stripped away from a human and their life was completely controlled. He wanted to show the dehumiliation and loosening of social and moral values that can happen to guards immersed in such situations. A lesson learned from the experiment was that when everyday people are arrested, their judgment of the situation, and this caused a ton of chaos. The Abayu prison scandal was an embarrassment to the United States. During a multi-year span, Iraqi prisoners were tortured and humiliated, from the top military leaders to the lowest ranking man. Unethical acts were committed. I found a timeline that shows how these cases came undone. May 4, 2004. General George W. Casey Jr. announces that in the past 16 months the U.S. Army has conducted more than 30 criminal investigations into misconduct by U.S. captors during both Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operation Enduring Freedom. May 5, 2004. President George W. Bush records interviews with Abayu and U.S.-sponsored Al-Hurran networks expressing his disgust with the mistreatment of Iraqi detainees. May 6, 2004, in a joint news conference with King Abdullah II of Jordan, President George W. Bush says he's told the king he's sorry for the humiliation suffered by Iraqi prisoners at the hands of U.S. troops in Iraq. February 21, 2009, Abayu reopens after major renovations, which include a new gym, a barbershop, a sewing room, outdoor recreational areas, a library, and a computer room. Its name is changed to Baghdad Central Prison. 2012, defense contractor Angelity Holdings Incorporated agrees to pay 71 former detainees at Abayu $5.28 million to settle a lawsuit filed in 2008. April 2014, Iraq closes the prison due to security violations. March 20, 2015, U.S. District Judge Alvin K. Hellenstein orders the Defense Department to release photos that allegedly show detainees being abused in detention centers in Iraq and Afghanistan. In some cases, junior military personnel were influenced by top officers and were placed in a dilemma where they felt as if they had to participate or the officer in charge would hurt their career. Also, a male officer had sex with a female inmate. This is very unethical due to the relationship between guard and prisoner. The Stanford Prison Experiment tells us that guards and inmates will fall into roles in accordance with how they believe they should act. It is my opinion that our own soldiers that we tasked with overseeing prisoners committed such unethical violations because they were told it's okay and fell into a similar scenario to the Stanford Prison Experiments. This concludes my experiment.